Good day everyone. Today, let us discuss parallelism and perpendicularity. Parallel lines are lines in the same plane that go in the same direction and never intersect. Example, in the figure, line M is parallel to line N. Parallel lines cut by a transversal have various applications to real life. In fact, you can see these lines all over the world. Example, railways. Transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at two or more distinct points. In the figure, the transversal is line W. There are 8 angles formed when a transversal cut two parallel lines. Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles postulate states that, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then a pair of corresponding angles are congruent. Corresponding angles are angles on the same position at each intersection and are equal in size. Alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles theorem states that, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then a pair of alternate interior angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles are opposite interior angles and are equal in size. Alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles theorem states that, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then a pair of alternate exterior angles are congruent. Alternate exterior angles are opposite exterior angles and are equal in size. Same-side interior angles. Same-side interior angles theorem states that, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Same-side interior are two angles that are on the interior of or between the two lines, and specifically on the same side of the transversal. Same-side exterior angles. Same-side exterior angles theorem states that, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the exterior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Same-side exterior are two angles that are on the exterior of, between, the two lines, and specifically on the same side of the transversal. When the lines are parallel to each other and is cut by a transversal, then corresponding angles are congruent, alternate interior angles are congruent, alternate exterior angles are congruent, interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, and exterior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Example 1. If line K is parallel to line L and measure of angle 4 is equal to 121 degrees, find the measure of each of the indicated angles. Solution. Measure of angle 1 is equal to 121 degrees. Since angle 1 and angle 4 are corresponding angles, then they are congruent. Measure of angle 3 is equal to 59 degrees. Since angle 3 and angle 4 are interior angles on the same side of a transversal, then they are supplementary. Measure of angle 2 is equal to 121 degrees. Since angle 2 and angle 4 are alternate interior angles, then they are congruent. Measure of angle 5 is equal to 121 degrees. Since angle 1 and angle 5 are alternate exterior angles, then they are congruent. Example 2. Solve for the value of x if measure of angle 1 equals 4x plus 7 and measure of angle 3 is equal to 63. Solution. Measure of angle 1 is congruent to measure of angle 3 by corresponding angles postulate. By substitution, for x plus 7 is equal to 63. By subtraction property of equality, subtract both sides by 7. We have, for x plus 7 minus 7 is equal to 63 minus 7. Then simplify. For x equals 56. Divide both sides by the coefficient of x. We have 4x divided by 4 equals 56 divided by 4. X equals 14. Example 3. Solve for the measure of each indicated angle. Solution. By alternate interior angles theorem, the two angles are congruent. So, 10x plus 7 equals 12x minus 5. Combine similar terms, 7 plus 5 equals 12x minus 10x. Then, simplify. 12 equals 2x. Divide both sides by the coefficient of x. We have, 12 divided by 2 equals 2x divided by 2. 6 equals x. By symmetric property, x equals 6. If x equals 6, then, by substitution, 10x plus 7 is equal to 10 multiplied by 6 plus 7 is equal to 60 plus 7 is equal to 67 degrees, and 12x minus 5 is equal to 12 times 6 subtracted by 5 is equal to 72 minus 5 is equal to 67 degrees. Therefore, the measure of each indicated angle is 67 degrees. Example 4, the figure below shows roads in Pasig City. Francisco Street, Carancho Avenue, and Market Avenue are parallel lines cut by transversal. Use the satellite photo and the given information to determine the values of x and each angle. Solution. Given measure of angle 1 equals 5x minus 10 degrees, measure of angle 2 equals 8x minus 5 degrees, measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. Since angle 1 and angle 2 are exterior angles in the same side, then they are supplementary. To solve for the value of x, by substitution, 5x minus 10 degrees plus 8x minus 5 degrees equals 180 degrees. By addition property of equality, or APE, add both sides by 15, we have 5x plus 8x equals 180 plus 15. Combine like terms, 13x equals 195. Divide both sides by 13, x equals 15. If x equals 15, measure of angle 1 equals 5x minus 10 degrees, equals 5 multiplied by 15 minus 10, equals 75 minus 10. Measure of angle 1 is equal to 65 degrees. While measure of angle 2 equals 8x minus 5 degrees, equals 8 multiplied by 15 minus 5 is equal to 120 minus 5. Measure of angle 2 is equal to 115 degrees. Let's proceed to perpendicularity of lines. Two lines that intersect to form right angles are said to be perpendicular. Line segments and rays can also be perpendicular. A perpendicular bisector of a line segment is a line or a ray or another line segment that is perpendicular to the line segment and intersects it at its midpoint. The distance between two parallel lines is the perpendicular distance between one of the lines. The small rectangle drawn on intersecting lines indicates a right angle. The perpendicular symbol indicates perpendicularity of lines as an XC is perpendicular to PY. Two lines are said to be perpendicular if one of the following theorems is true. 1. If two lines are perpendicular to each other, then they form four right angles. In the figure, if M is perpendicular to N, then angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4 are right angles. 2. If the angles in a linear pair are congruent, then the lines containing their sides are perpendicular. In the figure, if angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair and angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, then line sub 1 is perpendicular to line sub 2. 3. If two angles are adjacent and complementary, the non-common sides are perpendicular. In the figure, if angle CAR and angle EAR are complementary and adjacent, then ray AC is perpendicular to ray AE. Let's have this last example. Find the value of x so that M is parallel to N. Given angles with measure 7x minus 1 degrees, and the other angle is 90 degrees since it is a right angle. The two angles are said to be corresponding angles. And all corresponding angles are congruent. So, 7x minus 1 is congruent to 90. Solution. 7x minus 1 is equal to 90. By addition, property of equality, 7x minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 90 plus 1. Simplify. 7x equals 91. Divide both sides by 7. X equals 13. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.